Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is July 1st, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good, feeling well. Let's see. I decided to switch things up for a bit. It's been a while since I've done this, so I went for a walk. That was kind of nice. I kind of beat the rain. I was, I think it had rained before I had gone out, or maybe when I wake up, whatever. And it was nice. It was nice taking in some nature. Going from point to point. I don't know. It reminds me that I used to walk a lot when I was younger, in my teenage years. I would just walk around the neighborhood listening to music, and now I'm 32 years old, and I'm walking around listening to podcasts. So, it's nice. It's interesting. We'll call it a full circle moment. I don't know. But that being said, it'd be nice to make it maybe more of a regular thing. But then again, we'll see. My feet be hurting sometimes after work weeks. So, who can say? But it was just nice to do that. Food corner. Let's see. I was at Red Baron, or I was at. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a Red Baron store? No, it would kind of be mid. I was at a Kroger, and this was last week, and I had saw. I don't know, maybe I mentioned this or not, but I don't think I did. I saw that they had on sale a Red Baron pizza for like $5. And normally walk past Red Baron, don't think twice. But this one was like, it was loaded, quote unquote. And the crust looked thick, looked like a pretty big pizza. So I was like, all right, for $5, why not? Let's take a walk on the wild side. So I got this pizza out. I added some sauce. I added like hot sauce, like sriracha, things like that. I added some onions just to make it extra, even though it was already supreme pizza, so I'm pretty sure there was onions on there. And yeah, I had that for dinner. It was okay. I definitely got it closer to the well baked side, which was kind of unfortunate for me. But at the same time, it was still good, so I'm not like complaining. And I'd rather it be cooked and not underbaked. That's obviously kind of lame, kind of not good. But yeah, overall, it was a good Friday so far. We're having a good Saturday morning. So yeah, let's go ahead and do our proper I don't know, intro, and then we'll get into the news. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, it's definitely summer. I'm sweating already. All right. Okie dokie dokie. From NBC News, January 6th defendant arrested near Obama's home had guns and 400 rounds of ammunition in his van. This is becoming an all too classic tale. I don't know why I highlighted all of that article. That's weird. But a Trump supporter who stormed the Capitol wearing a Make Space Great Again hat had two guns and 400 rounds of ammunition in his van when he was arrested Thursday near former President Barack Obama's home. A federal prosecutor said on Friday that Taylor Toronto, a 37-year-old man first identified by online sleuths in August of 2021, also had a machete in the van that he appeared to be living in. So, I mean, it makes sense. He's on his Punisher arc. He's out here. He's protesting for Trump, and he's gonna slay his enemies. I don't fucking know. He be on this yee sheet. He's about that life. But he currently faces 4 misdemeanor counts in connection with the January 6th, prosecution. So, I mean, he's ready for this action. I don't know though. I don't. Maybe he just hasn't been charged yet. But it's just crazy that I think he lives in the Washington area. So, like I said, I mean, he's been doing protests, making the rounds. I think at one point when McCarthy had said, "Oh, I'm gonna make the footage viewable to people who are being prosecuted in the January 6th trial," this guy's like, "Hey, let me see my shit. Let me see my shit." And I think he was like griping about it on social media. But also, I guess Trump had posted a supposed whereabouts of like where the Obamas lived, and then this Toronto guy reposted it as like, yeah, we got these losers surrounded. And I don't know, maybe he was scheming, maybe he was like planning his great heist. He was gonna be on his De Pepe shit. If you know, you know. I'm glad obviously this didn't go to pass, though. I guess this is a tangent before we move on to the next thing. I'll say it before I say it again. I have a bit of a blind spot when it comes to Obama. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I get the criticism. It's always going to be valid. I understand it, like, for sure. But I'm never going to be mad to see a black man make it. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. So, yeah, I'm trying to see him. I'm trying to see his family, all right? I'm trying to see them good, all right? Look, if I podcasted my ass off and I got a chance to meet Obama, yeah, I'm gonna take it. And oh, are you gonna be critical of Obama? No, I'm fucking not. I would not be. I just wouldn't. There's a high likelihood I just wouldn't. Like, you're not gonna catch me like, Obama, I got you in a corner now. I'm not gonna Frost Nixon him. I just don't. I wouldn't see that happening. But that being said, I obviously realize, yeah, no, he's just another fucking politician who became a president, and he, did fucked up shit along the way. For sure. We agree. Moving on, more fucked up shit, I guess you could say. But I mean, I guess this is good news for one person. From ABC News, Fox News settles lawsuits brought by former employee for $12 million. So, yes, I believe it's Abby Grossberg. She got her bag. Fox News has settled a pair of lawsuits brought by former employee for $12 million, according to a statement issued on Friday by the employee's attorney, marking the latest settlement for the network as it faces a series of legal challenges. Now, Abby Grossberg was a producer, I guess more specifically a senior booker, and she worked with Maria Bartiromo and Tucker Carlson. Oh man, that was bad. I did not stifle that one. Oopsie. But I believe what a senior booker does is more or less just make sure, like, hey, their talent's good. They book like any kind of like maybe counter talent that they have to like have conversations with. I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but more or less just she was a producer, so she had said that she filed 2 lawsuits accusing the network of fostering a toxic atmosphere, victimizing women, and claiming its legal team coerced, intimidated, and misinformed her as it battled the lawsuit brought by Dominion Voting Systems. Another thing we've talked about as related to Fox News, they're essentially, huge pivot to just be like, hey, we're going to slam Dominion Voting Systems, saying that they are cheating, they are, fraudulent, yada, yada, yada. And I guess they had Grossberg more or less trying to lie. And she felt pressured into doing this and, like, delivering a testimony that she didn't believe as genuine, or as I keep hearing this word a lot, authentic. But yeah, I guess she's won in both cases, because also she's saying, hey, that it was a toxic work environment, especially for women, which you've also covered that too, how like behind the scenes, like Tucker Carlson and just other staff were just saying and doing the most misogynistic shit possible. Referencing to the photo of Nancy Pelosi's boobs. I think they were throwing darts at or whatever. Like, what the fuck? Shit's crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is a dub in terms of like sticking it to a shitty company. We love to see it. But I'm not a Abby Grossberg fan. She works at Fox News. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think you're good people. Like, I get it. Get your money. I understand. And then also here, get your money. That's $12 million. Shit, you deserve it. You had to work at Fox News, so I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I initially thought this was some like Tucker Carlson related thing, but it is because Abby Grossberg worked for Tucker Carlson. So I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I understand. But all the same, I did find this interesting that Fox News is continuing just to keep doling out that fucking money. And also too that they didn't want to actually, I guess, take it to trial. They had initially said that they called her allegations false. They said that this is more or less bullshit. And, for them to say that and then kind of about face like, no, everything's cool, everything's fine. And Abby Grossberg is also like, hey, I'm glad that they're acknowledging that, like, this shit happened more or less with the money. So I'm paraphrasing, of course. But, yeah, interesting news. She talks about, she was so sick. She was so upset about having to lie or, all this shit. Like, okay, yeah, dude, like, do it or fucking don't. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's the Milwaukee's best talking. At the end of the day, do the right thing. But you're at Fox News. You're working at Fox News, so that's like seeing a stormtrooper or some shit. Like, oh yeah, I realized I fucked up, or like this is too fucked up. It's saying this is too fucked up. You guys are asking me to do something that is against the law. Like, I can't do it. But it's like I can help produce this bullshit that's like just tearing at the fabric of America. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. Let's move on. I've talked about this enough, and I'm already sweating. The next article we have is from Next Shark, which sounds like Game Shark, which makes me a little nostalgic for a little bit of handheld gaming. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Sorry. Chinese influencer exposed for posing as Russian soldier fighting in Ukraine. This was an influencer story, piqued my interest. I wanted to talk about a Chinese influencer who talked about his experience fighting in Ukraine as a Russian soldier has been banned from Douyin after online sleuths exposed him as a fraud. He is known as Pavel Korchati on the Chinese social media platform. And he has 380,000 followers before his account was ultimately banned on June 16th. His content mainly featured him speaking in Mandarin, about his first-hand experiences on the Russia-Ukraine battlefield that were completely made up. And it's funny that these online sleuths, like, they were able to be like, something's wrong here. Like, one, you're posing at this like nuclear power plant that it can't be in Ukraine. Like that just didn't happen. Like you're saying you fought back the U.S. and these drones and like you just did this full Call of Duty mission and shit. Like that's cool. But it just didn't happen. And that's not the plant that you're saying it is. That's a plant in China. They also reference that his accent, it's from a specific area, like the Henan area. So it's like that's a little bit weird. That's adding up to something. And then also, the filters that he was using, it was like it was one of those like filters where it completely augments your face. And he was literally adding a whole ass beard to his face. And that shit was just so weird. Because to me, a lot of face filters just, they come off as like Uncanny Valley or some shit, Like, they just, especially in like the lips and the eyes, like the chin, all of the face filters just look so weird when they like go heavy on the augmenting. And like in this guy, if you watch any of the videos or see anything about him, he just like his lips. It's really the lips for me. Like no, this isn't a real person. This looks fucking made up. So yeah, he played himself here a bit. But Pavel Korchati started an e-commerce business which offered imported Russian goods such as honey and vodka after he gained hundreds of thousands of followers online, according to reports. So, I mean, it makes sense that he was doing this grift to essentially sell a brand. I mean, this really isn't that different than an Alex Jones, only you're just LARPing as a soldier instead of, I don't know, an information war hero. I don't know. But, it was an interesting play. I guess he probably made some money. I'm sure some people bought some vodka or some honey from this motherfucker. Hopefully it was good. Hopefully it came on time. But yeah, I think he then makes a pivot after being exposed, and he changes his username to Wang Kang Mai, which is Wang Anti-America. Okay, hella based. Okay, awesome. Go off. And wrote in his bio that he was the vanguard against America. He was eventually banned by Douyin for spreading false information. That's fair. I mean, your whole identity is false, and everything you're talking about, made up. Didn't happen. So, I mean, I'm curious if maybe a guy like this makes a reappearance somewhere else. I love a good grift. I'm not going to lie. I like talking about fraud. I like talking about scams. I mean, this was very weird, very interesting. To me, you got to have a big old set of brass ones to literally say, like, yo, especially in this day and age, 2023, that, like, I'm going to show you an area. I'm going to show you a backdrop. I'm going to show you my face that I've completely altered and made up. And you're going to fucking believe me. What a bridge to fucking sell. All right. We got one more thing to cover before I let you go. But speaking of selling things, we're about to talk about selling some fucking beer. And the perils of selling some fucking beer in capitalist societies. But let's go ahead and let's light one up. There you go. That's, you can say that on YouTube, right? Ooh wee. Ooh. By the way, Milwaukee's Best, not sponsored, but maybe I should be as much as I fucking drink it. Think about it. From Gizmodo, Dylan Mulvaney speaks out against Bud Light for lack of support. Now, we've covered this before, at least in terms of Dylan Mulvaney's campaign that she had with Bud Light. And she's a trans influencer. They gave her a can with her face on it. Apparently, I didn't know this. This is actually on April 1st, which I don't know, that makes me even feel like even worse to me, because really how they bailed, like how they just truly about it faced on her, when the times got fucking rough. And I know that a lot of people are talking about the numbers, like, well, they lost so much fucking money, 23% as compared to last year. Oh my gosh, what a loss. But at the end of the day, I just, it really didn't, it bothered me. So to see her response to it, and I was like, all right, I want to talk about it. I'm going to consider this a really worthwhile update and just, do some coverage on it. But Dylan Mulvaney, a trans influencer who is sponsored by Bud Light for 2 Instagram posts, is speaking out after receiving hate mail and threats while reportedly receiving no support from the beer company. The sponsorship garnered a mass anti-trans response and calls for a boycott, which has decimated Bud Light sales since Mulvaney's April 1st post. Now, they use the word decimated, I understand that, but this is something that I've said before, that I do think inevitably the shoe was going to drop for Bud Light. They had kind of like repurposed themselves. They wanted to be a little bit more socially positive, I think, and quote unquote get away from frat culture. So they made some strides to do that. And I think it just coincided like that people, like an anti-trans movement was like, no, we're going to be so fucking against this shit. Kid Rock, all these motherfuckers, Matt Walsh, all these motherfuckers are just like, we hate you so much. And to see Bud Light completely buckle under that pressure, under that scrutiny, it's frustrating to me on a lot of levels. I get it. You're trying to preserve the bag and you're trying to about face. But at the end of the day, I've seen plenty of companies back a bad horse. I've seen New Balance, Taco Bell, all these motherfuckers either silently or loudly support people like Donald Trump. And guess what? At the end of the day, when the tables turned, no one's fucking doing pitchforks with them. And at the end of the day, who gives a shit about that? Because it's money that talks. They make their money back. They're still fine. They're still making fucking money. And to see but like do the serpentine zigzag bullshit because all this didn't work exactly as we planned. I just think it's so fucking shitty, and I think it's so terrible because at the end of the day, someone like Dylan Mulvaney is caught in the crosshairs of that. You know, they have to completely now like change their life, live in fear because people are now like hunting them, and you have no support. The company that like gave you the merchandise with your face on it isn't even backing you anymore. You know, they're not even like saying anything in support of you. So I thought this shit was fucked up. So yeah, let's go ahead and read what she has to say. What I'm about to tell you might sound like old news, but you know that feeling you have when something uncomfy sitting in. Let me read this back again. I'm sorry, but you know that feeling when you have something uncomfy sitting on your chest. Well, that's how I feel right now. She told viewers that she took a brand deal with a company that I loved, but after the backlash the sponsorship received, she needed to speak out in response to the lack of support she received from the brewing company. For a company to hire a trans person and then not publicly stand by them is worse, in my opinion, than not hiring a trans person at all. Because it gives customers permission to be transphobic and hateful as they want. And the hate doesn't end with me. It has serious and grave consequences. It has serious and grave consequences for the rest of our community. On I think this was Wednesday when Brandon Whitworth, the CEO of Anheuser-Busch, he made a statement that Bud Light has supported LGBTQ since 1998. So that's 25 years, and we've said from the beginning we'll continue to support the communities and organizations that we supported for decades. Just in that statement alone, you could have easily supported the person you gave Bud Light cans to, like, on April. And you just didn't. Like, you skirted the publicity, the problem, the scandal. Like, at the end of the day, I get it. This is the CEO speak. They're trying to just slither on through this fucking problem. But it is in a way that I just feel is just completely actually non-supportive. And hey, I'm not surprised. You know, I'm not surprised to see Target shrink their shit. I'm not surprised to see Starbucks do the same fucking thing. At the end of the day, these motherfuckers aren't really fucking allies. They aren't really fucking about it. I get it, whatever. But at the end of the day, to just completely just desert like someone, I just think it's really fucked up. The least you could do is be like, no, we do stand with this person. Y'all are fucked up for making this stink. But they do say like, oh, well, we care about our drivers. We care about our distributors. So you are aware that people are out of fucking pocket being wild as hell. But like, yet again, you just don't support the person that this all sparked from. And I think that's fucked up. I think that's messy. I don't like to see it. I'd give it tomato, tomato, tomato. Yes. Yes, I do. Front row, center. But that's really all I got for today. I know I'm kind of waxing long and poetic here. But I thank you so much for tuning in for my, my fever dream, my rant. But if you'd like to support the effort, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Isaiah News. If you'd like to become a newsie, you can get on this roll call that I'm about to do. Did I say road call? I meant to say roll call. Once it loads up, let me get these names front and center. All right, to my newsies. I don't know what I'm doing here. That's Morse code. I don't know what that meant. But shout out to Stephanie Renee, the queen. Thank you. Denver McIntosh, thank you, sir. Thank you for always supporting and being a homie. We see you. We love you. Edward Haas, the leader of Commanders Conclave. Also, a round of applause for becoming a YouTube partner. We love to see it. If you are not watching please go check out Commander's Conclave. It is an amazing YouTube production. If you're into any kind of magic, any kind of Commander EDH, they do that every week. They're always posting. It's always good shit. I love watching it. That's actually the kind of stuff I'm literally now, since I'm like a Patreon subscriber, I get to like watch early, and I'm like, hell yeah. So I'm watching like on my job. So hell yeah, dude. I'm sticking it to the man, and I'm fucking watching my boys fucking crank out on some magic. We love to see it. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. So you become a newsie. You can share in this love, bask in this radiance, and also if you'd like to, contact the podcast, talk to me. That's available. If you're on the Discord, that's already a thing. Patreon members already get that, but it's also a free thing. I do have a gmail.com. What is it? Isaiah News 1 at gmail.com. And then also I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. We reference the YouTube. Hopefully you've hit subscribe. Hopefully you hit the like button. Also, I don't know if they're robots on Twitter. If you're bots, I don't care. I'm happy to see you. Thank you for following me on Twitter. Hi, bleep or bleep. We love to see every follow. We love to see that all. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.